Planning a fishing trip shouldn't feel like a full-time job. With fishingbooker.com, you can find and book the perfect fishing trip within minutes. Fishingbooker.com connects you with trusted fishing captains around the world. Booking is fast, easy, and secure, with access to verified customer reviews, loyalty rewards, and around-the-clock customer support. Everything you need to book with confidence is in one place. So head to fishingbooker.com and start planning your next fishing adventure today.
This episode is brought to you by Adobe Firefly, the all-in-one creative studio with AI-powered image and video generation. Built for today's creative process, Firefly helps you generate, edit, and experiment fast. Because the asks aren't getting smaller, and the timelines? Woo, yeah, still tight. With all the best creative AI models in one place, Firefly brings your ideas to life. Learn more at adobe.com/firefly.
All right, welcome back to the Survival and Basic Badass podcast with Kevin and Chuck. Today, we're going to talk about smuggling. Now, smuggling, it's kind of a quandary because there's moral issues, there's, obviously in today's world and society, it's not really a moral or appropriate thing. However, you may not live where I live. You may live outside, in countries where things are a little more questionable. Uh-huh. And also, our world may not always be the same. It's a quandary. You guys know I'm fairly libertarian. Atlas Shrugged, that kind of thing. I don't know if you remember, there was that character, Ragnar Denishald. He was the pirate.
Okay.
And always had the ships and was out. Mm-hmm. And basically the government would tax the people and then send relief off to all over the place. Mm-hmm. And he'd go and steal it and take it back and take it from the people who were taxed, basically. When you think of maybe not quite smuggling, but to help make my point with the moral issue here, think of Robin Hood. Now, Robin Hood said he was taking from the rich and giving to the poor. I kind of like to go the other way on that. And here's what I mean. I like to take the people who are taking from the producers and just giving it to everybody who doesn't do anything. I don't have a big quandary with taking that back.
Mm-hmm.
I
think Robin Hood was more of a socialist.
Mm-hmm.
He was just taking it from poor people.
No, that was my point. Robin Hood was the bad guy. There's no scenario where he was really the, So, I don't know. That's my,
Kevin Costner, worst Robin Hood ever.
Was he? You're willing to go on the record for that? Now, any thoughts on Bryan Adams or anything?
No, I'm going to let that
You're going to let that lie? All right. That's really my take on that. Here's the way I see it. Like, obviously, if we live in a civilized Christian world, we'll say, right? There's a moral code. It's not right to steal from your neighbor. It's not right to cheat from your government. It's not right to do any of these things. Jesus, they said, oh, what do we do about paying taxes? It's not right. And, he had the whole coin thing and give to Caesar what is Caesar's. Honestly, I never really put that much thought into that one. I'm not sure. Maybe he had some darker meaning and whatever.
Yeah, I think there's a deeper meaning to that, but I don't think we need to get into it.
But here's also what I'd say. The reason I guess we wanted to cover this topic for the podcast is imagine a world where all right, say you're a Christian moral guy, right? You have Christian morals, you believe the Bible, you think that end times are coming, and the only way you're going to get goods are if you take this mark of the beast, right? Mm-hmm. In that world, is it not moral to, basically take from the people locking you out and whatever? Is that immoral? I mean, that's something you need to kind of think about and decide on your own there. Now, in the world we have, obviously, some people, now, not me, of course, might think that the government is corrupt. Mm-hmm. You probably have never had that thought, but I'm just saying some people have said this kind of thing.
Okay.
If you were to believe the government is corrupt, now, I find as soon as you start making compromises, as soon as you believe, you know what, my government's corrupt, so it doesn't matter if I cheat the government, don't pay my taxes, or I don't, do whatever. You cut corners wherever, I steal whatever from, the power company because screw the man or whatever it is you believe. As soon as you start making these compromises, you've kind of given up. Mm-hmm. I think you need to draw a line where what is too far, but to just live your life kind of in between where I take the benefits of the world and the society, but I don't want to pay and contribute.
Right.
You're the problem.
Right. You don't vote and then you bitch about the government you got.
And whatever. But, I mean, we have to play inside the system in the world that we're in as long as we are. Now, does that mean I'm not going to grow my own food so I can maybe not pay tax on what I eat because I grow my own and I don't go through the system and the man? Maybe that's a part of being self-reliant and why we look that way. Right. Maybe you find alternative ways that are both inside the parameters of, society, whatever. So, with all that said, now let's talk about some cool stuff.
All right.
Right? Or did you have any?
No, I have no moral issues.
No moral
with
issues.
Smuggling.
You're good.
Or breaking the law, in any way. But
even though we're reasonably libertarian, we're not down for smuggling cocaine over the border all day long.
Yeah.
Although we are going to talk about some fun stories that might relate to that. Now, you have some kind of list of the top smuggled items.
Top smuggled items.
Tell me about that.
Now, number 5 is gold.
I like gold.
I did not realize that gold was such a commodity, but apparently in India, there's a big craze for importing gold. A lot of people are really into it, so there's a high tax on it. So what they're doing is making seed-size gold pieces and sticking them into dates and smuggling them through. And that was a big one that got busted.
Put it in your tooth.
Yeah, another guy got deathly ill because he was swallowing gold bars. And I didn't know that can poison you, but apparently not a good idea.
No? Okay.
Number 2 or number 1 is it's a tie. It's between smuggling people. Now that includes sex traffic. That includes illegal immigrants smuggled over the border. That includes a lot of things. The other one is grapes. If you've ever been to a beach in Europe, you know those Speedos, man. They're smuggling grapes. It is not right. That is one I don't approve of.
I think you only get one dad joke per episode.
All right. I'll let that go.
You may have just blown it.
All right. So the other ones on the list here are drugs, illegal weapons, exotic animals. Apparently, there's a big thing for...
I've heard that.
Yeah. Endangered species, things like that.
And was that number 1?
No, number 1 is people.
Oh, people.
People.
Okay.
But
no,
that
it's not
includes a lot of different...
Putting the diamonds up the butt. Wasn't there a movie with Leonardo DiCaprio?
Yeah, I don't know about the diamonds in the butt thing. I'm not I'm not going to comment on it.
Blood diamonds or something. I don't know what it was. Butt diamonds or I don't know what they called it.
All right, so some other things on the list are the white slave trade. Now, when I say white slave trade, what I really mean is sex trafficking. You don't have to be white to be sex trafficked. Tobacco, big one.
No, wait, can I just stop you right there? The sex trafficking? Mm-hmm. I saw a little meme on the Facebook there, and there's some picture of some veteran, whatever, and they're like, oh, now he's a full, this guy's a badass because he's a full-time fighting sex trafficking, and he only had one eye, and his right eye had the Captain America shield in there instead.
Nice.
Now, my wife was like, well, wouldn't that give it away that you're a good guy?
Yeah.
And I was like, no, that's just badass.
That's
is
just
what
badass.
that is.
No. Yep.
Now, it looked a little creepy. Like, he was kind of looking two different directions. It kind of freaked
Little
me out.
creepy, yeah.
But the idea is fucking badass.
I like it. I like it.
I'm
I
gonna
kind of
go
want
with
to pluck one of my eyes out now.
Exactly. I've been hearing about that kind of thing that, you can enhance your abilities.
Right.
And even though you might only have one eye, I'm thinking Captain America
It
eye.
gives you powers. It's going to give you powers.
That's still an enhancement, Anyway, carry on.
So I was looking at the tobacco smuggling. They said in the United States right now, you could go to certain states, fill up a tractor trailer with cigarettes, take it to other certain states, and sell them without paying the taxes, and you can make $2 million per tractor trailer of
Holy
cigarettes.
Crap.
Just in the markup.
Now, I've heard about
states.
local delis that do that kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
Little, they slide you the pack that just doesn't have the tax stamp.
Yeah, I think
I've heard some stories.
if I'm right, I think it's Kentucky and North Carolina. You can still buy
Virginia.
major brands of cigarettes for about $19.99 a carton. So I mean, that's.
Now I remember the Navy, the duty free shop is like $10.50 a carton.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds right.
Yeah, and in New York State, I think. Well,
What are we? $100
a friend of mine just bought a pack of cigarettes in Manhattan, $20. That's $1 a cigarette they're charging in Manhattan.
Hurts.
Now, New York State, I think they're charging about just over $10 a pack, so that's it's about $100 a carton.
That's what I've heard. But now, why are you not rolling your own cigarettes at this point? Is what I want to know.
I don't know. You can get tobacco from the Indian reservations, but also that's against the law.
It is.
It is. You can do it, but when you buy it, you're smuggling those cigarettes.
Oh my lord, that's completely appropriate for
We're
this
talking
topic.
about that right now.
In New York, we're not allowed to have firecrackers that go off the ground. We only got like sparklers just like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, we're easing into it. But if I drive to Pennsylvania, get some cool fireworks and come back, smuggling. That's what's happening right here. Obviously, I would not do that because a man
Of your moral standing would never
standard.
do something like that.
Exactly.
I understand that.
All right, so we're on the same page.
Now, one of the other big traffic things is alcohol, and you don't think about it so much anymore because obviously it was a big part of our history. But it's not something anybody does anymore in the United States. But there's a lot of countries in the world where that still is a big, a big deal. Most of the Middle East, they're not supposed to drink alcohol, and it's against the law in those countries. But that doesn't mean nobody ever drinks alcohol there.
Really? I find that shocking.
It should be shocking.
All right.
Now, so most of the reason that somebody is going to smuggle is going to be evading taxes, or breaking law using some sort of illicit substance.
Now, I think you're 100% right, and I think that is 98% of the smuggling is to avoid taxes or to bring illegal products from one place to another. Now, like I said, I was kind of hoping in the world of, we talked about guerrilla warfare and sabotage, various, episodes in the past. These are why I kind of want to bring these things to light, give people some ideas, get the thoughts stirring, is because I want you to be like, hey, I heard of people doing this. I heard of people doing that. And you might be able to not smuggle drugs. That's not what I'm going for.
Right.
You might be able to, get supplies or remove, get information that maybe will help the right moral people that you're trying to help out. That's what I'm looking for.
Right. So now there's three basic types of smugglers here.
Okay. Now this is from officially Wikipedia.
This is Wikipedia. This isn't anything serious, but they call it phase one. Phase one smuggler is usually a person that smuggles to meet their own needs and perhaps enough to sell to cover their own expenses.
Okay.
They're the ones that are
a
most
heroin habit.
These are the people that are usually the ones that are caught. Right. These are the drug mules. These are people that are maybe hired by more professional smugglers to try and go through and see where the
Test
weaknesses are. Yep. Sometimes professional smugglers will use a Phase 1 smuggler to test security. So a drug mule, somebody that, is sticking balloons of heroin up their butt, that's Phase 1. That's the low guy.
I always see these movies with these sick little girls on buses, and it's not pretty.
Yeah.
I don't see sticking the condom with cocaine or whatever.
Yeah, when you swallow those condoms and it bursts inside you, and then you have like a really exciting hyper death. That
doesn't sound.
It doesn't usually work out well. Yeah, it's not the one that's the winner here. Phase 2, it's usually an organized group with a shared value system. Okay. So either it's a group of friends trying to smuggle this and that in to the country or across borders, or it's a group of people that may not even know each other but find themselves in a similar situation, like baggage handlers. Things like that. Now, there's 3 types of structures involved in this. So there's the first one is people with limited experience and limited connections. It's just somebody that's trying to move a truckload of cigarettes up to a different state. Right. That's what you got there. Or it could be a legitimate company that uses smuggling to cover expenses. Say, they provide a service, but part of that service or product has a high tax or something like that on it, and they smuggle to lower their costs. Type 3 is large companies that use opportunities of their business to smuggle, such as airline companies, shipping companies, trucking companies like that.
Can't imagine, right?
Yeah. Now, Phase 3, it's the last one, smuggling. These are usually formed for the sole purpose of smuggling. They're usually run by experienced smugglers, and they're usually divided into like hierarchies of systems, like counterintelligence, logistics, bribes.
This is like Pablo Escobar.
Yep. We're talking about the drug cartels when we're talking about a Phase 3 smuggler.
All right.
Now, do you want to get into some of the history of smuggling? Did you have something about that?
A lot of like pirates and excitement there.
Let's talk about some of that.
You want to talk about pirates?
Privateers and whatnot?
I do have some thoughts about U.S. border stuff. Now, we did have a guy approach us a while back about promoting a show, Locked Up Abroad, that was they were doing a podcast. I know there's a TV show, whatever.
Right. This was the same sort of thing.
Somehow they were dysfunctional and couldn't communicate, and I just was like, you're an idiot. I don't want to waste my time.
Right.
But when they approached us, I checked it out and listened to their podcast, which is probably what they wanted all along. I don't know. Mm-hmm. They were like, we got one listener. We're in. And it was all about, this guy's like, yeah, I just tuck it in my jeans. Oh, I think he made a cast.
Okay.
On his leg. And he would just fill this thing with, drugs.
Mm-hmm.
And just the novice. And once he got away with it the one time, though, he was like, this is my new thing. And then he's like doing it on the daily and just getting sloppier and sloppier. And you read about this guy getting away with it, and it just blows your mind because it's like, he's so inept, just so haphazard. And then you see these big elaborate things, getting busted. But anyway, let's talk about some pirates for a minute. Now, there were a couple of guys and man, it's hard to even put them all in order, but of who, is the right guy. But there was a guy, Francos. I'm going to butcher this guy's name. It's French people.
You get a pass on French
We're going to say
names.
Francos Alanis.
Okay.
Or something like that. All right. He hated Spain. Let me tell you, this guy does not like Spain. Apparently, early in his pirate days, when he's hanging out with fellow pirates, going around going, arg, there's parrots on his shoulder, drinking
pirate stuff,
man things, right? So apparently the Spanish raiders almost killed him, And you know how like Hitler had his unreasonable obsession with the Jews because he didn't like Jewish prostitutes or something.
Yeah.
The same kind of thing. This guy was like, that's it. The Spanish are done. So he ends up going on like an anti-Spain rampage.
Okay.
And he's like, I'm going to be full on. And he let him know. He's like, look, I'm going to behead everyone in the crew of every Spanish ship I find, except for one guy who I'm going to have go back and tell everybody.
That's some,
hey,
that's some badass
I'm a
shit.
badass, right? So he gets the reputation. He ends up building up. He's got 8 ships, hundreds of guys. He just terrorizes the coast of South America and, all the Spanish ships back and forth.
Right.
And just ransacking, and he's killing it, right? So he tortures everybody. So finally, Spain's like, screw this. We're going to get this guy. They send, a big freaking armada. And I guess he ends up getting like cornered. He gets captured by one guy. Finally, he overtakes him. And he ends up having like 10 Spanish prisoners. He cuts out the dude's heart in order to get the other ones, and he eats it. He just freaking goes to town, eating this guy's heart.
Yeah, I bet that's
And he's
delicious.
like, look, if you don't tell me where they're going to be, all the other ships, the same thing's going to happen to all you guys. And he's going to kill them all anyway. So,
Right.
I mean, I
What
don't
is
know
the
why
difference
they're...
about whether you get killed and have your heart eaten or not?
And they're all like, whoa, dude, you know what? You're right. And they tell him and he gets away. And I guess he killed a lot of like Portuguese, but what's the difference? Spanish, Portuguese. I don't even know if they're 2 different places. So
No, they're very different. But
yeah,
whatever.
Whatever.
They look the same, so that's probably enough for him.
Now then is man, I can't think tonight, but John Lafitte, New Orleans.
Sure.
That guy, right? Now, I thought I knew about him. I took some tours in New Orleans, and they were like, let us tell you about John Lafitte, and he's great. Right. And, there were some cool things, because this guy actually loved America.
Yeah, no, he was
very pro-American, and very much a big part of, would maybe still be a British colony if it wasn't for John Lafitte. But, so anyway, even though he was a Frenchman, he was a true like pirate king. So this guy had his own pirate island in Louisiana. He'd capture ships and smuggle stolen stuff. Now he was cool because he would not touch an American ship.
All right.
He only went after people coming in. He was so successful, they said, that the governor of Louisiana offered a $300 bounty for his capture, which was greater than the national budget at the time.
Right.
So that's a lot of money. And he's like, yeah, $300 bounty. So he put out $1,000 bounty on the governor. I'm like, that's a badass. But he also so he was such a badass. The British went and approached him and said, look, we'll give you a complete pardon from the King of England. And you come and help us raid the Americans and take them out and whatever. And he's like, yeah, give me a day to think about it. Went back, told the Americans, said, whoa, the British are right here. This is what they want to do. And these are all their plans. And the Americans were like, yeah, dude, you're a pirate. And they locked his ass up. And that's how we roll, But then it was actually Jackson that came along and was like, hey, you know what? He's pretty cool. We like him. We actually need his help. And they ended up getting him, worked out. And you guys maybe know the rest of the story. I don't know. If not, whatever. Another guy. Now, this guy's a badass too. Stephen Decatur.
Okay.
Now, he actually was a U.S. naval officer. But he's just so badass, we're going to talk about him anyway. So, he's the youngest guy to reach captain in the history of the Navy. And he's just badass. So he was the first American celebrated as a national military hero who didn't play a role in the American Revolution. All right, 'cause he came a little bit later. He was actually on the $20 notes when we had like silver and gold notes.
Okay.
So he's kind of a badass. So here's what he did. He would basically do these like epic bloody sea raids. When the USS Philadelphia was captured in Tripoli by pirates in 1803, Decatur's 25 years old. He grabs a group of like 10 guys, disguised them as Maltese sailors, infiltrates the enemy harbor armed with swords and pikes. Now, I don't even know what pikes are.
A pike is a spear.
Spear? All right. And they go in, they slaughter the entire crew, and they set the ships all on fire. And just so the pirates, are screwed and whatever. There was a guy, Admiral Horatio Nelson, who had his arm removed so that way he could keep fighting. So this guy's also a badass.
All right.
Called the raid the most bloody and disturbing and daring act of the age. Then they he ends up, well, all right. So, bottom line, goes in, kicks ass. He's a badass. I got one more. All right. Maybe you don't like my pirate stories. I don't know.
I love pirate stories.
All right.
It's all right.
So there's this guy, Hornigold. Now, Blackbeard was actually one of the pirates this guy trained and started out. And then Blackbeard goes and becomes the most famous guy, whatever. And he decides this guy's a wuss anyway. But Hornigold started out in the Bahamas where he had 4 canoes. And that was it. You're a badass if you can work your way up from canoes to a fleet of pirate ships. You're a badass. So he takes his 4 canoes and within 2 years has a 30-gun warship, possibly the most heavily armed warship in the Bahamas at the time.
All right.
They said he made sailing over to merchant ships, and he'd just say, "Hey, give me all your crap." He'd let everybody go because he didn't care, and he was just a badass. He'd go in, he'd take all their shit, say, "Bring it to me." One time, his guys got all drunk. They lost all their stuff because sometimes that happens when you get drunk. He had to go on, raid another ship, goes on. It's like, you know what? Everybody give me your hats and your belts. Gives them to his guys, and it's like, all right, I'm good. Keep your shit. It goes. He's also been known to raid ships and just take the rum. Be like, look, I just need rum. Give me that.
That sounds legit.
You keep the rest of your shit, right? And then he'd go on. But actually, that was one of the things. Blackbeard got a little pissed off and ended up moving on and being like, dude, you got to take all the shit. And, So anyway, all right. That's what I got on pirates. Do you have another thing on that list, or we're about good there?
No, I think we're all set there.
All right. So let me tell you about cocaine smuggling.
All right. I love some good cocaine
America
smuggling
has
stories.
problems with people smuggling cocaine across the border, is what I've come to recognize. All right. So the one, man, there were all kinds of good stuff. So they caught one girl, had a 7-pound statue of Jesus. Made out of cocaine.
Religious girl.
Made out of cocaine. And they wouldn't have caught it, but damn those dogs. Those dogs
always get you.
Dude, the dogs all the time. Apparently, a big way to smuggle is fake fruit. Ooh. They like to take jalapenos, stuff them with cocaine. And that only seems right.
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds like you're, They had carrots, so they would take marijuana, wrap it in orange tape, so it was shaped like a carrot or other things, and they would stuff them in bags of carrots and throw them in the pile. But then the dogs would be like, "Yeah,
it's not all carrots,
tape, dude." And they'd go right through it. So then I had a woman had fake breast implants put in that were completely packed with cocaine.
Nice.
See, you didn't even think of that.
No, I don't know.
I mean, that's really bringing it to the party.
Augmentation.
How do they? Yeah, but how do they figure that one out? The dog's like barking at her boobs?
I don't know. That seems like something else went wrong.
Would you be like, well,
you hear about
somebody
the
was
silicone
sniffing
pops.
coke off my boobs last night, and I don't know.
I don't know. The silicone pops, maybe the cocaine pops.
That I found very confusing. Now, they also, in Thailand, caught a guy who would take the cocaine. He had a chemist who was able to make it into a cream. Doesn't sound that complicated as far as some of these stories I got for you. But made it into a cream. They put it into tubes. Now, this is really clever. They actually labeled the tubes gay sex lube.
All right.
And then
nice.
They would take that through, and sure enough, the dogs were like, yeah, but...
The border security was like, I don't want any part of that.
I know that. They would be like, oh, gay sex. If it was like butt lube, they'd be, well, you know, but gay sex.
Gay sex lube is different. I'm not fucking with that.
So nobody's touching that, right? I think that takes us into submersibles.
Oh, submarines.
Well, I figure gay sex, submersible.
Okay, yeah.
It ties. It could work there, right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of that. Turns out there's such a high payday from smuggling cocaine that people are willing to risk, you know, their pedal submarines and that kind of thing. It turns out that's a thing. These tunnels, they're actually hiring engineers, paying them millions of dollars to make these tunnels, you know, that run underneath the border and go from shop to shop. I don't know if you saw that show, Weeds.
Yeah.
And you remember they had that fancy tunnel. They're really elaborate, concrete walls, lighting. There was a guy, I think it was actually Pablo Escobar, had a tunnel that would flood with water. He could just hit a switch and it would fill it up with water, and they could drain it out and right back to doing work. And it's amazing the elaborate lengths, you know, that they would go to. Also, people were known to make catapults.
Oh, and just fire them over?
And just shoot it right over the wall. That's been known to happen on our Mexican border. Another guy, again, they hired a chemist because apparently you have money if you're doing cocaine.
Right.
And he actually was able to work it out that they could make plastic out of cocaine. So he made a bunch of DVD cases.
Nice.
Now, that's pretty elaborate. Going across the border, I got a bunch of DVDs. No problem. But it was a problem because the dogs were like, no. Yeah. I love chewing on plastic shit. And guess what? It didn't work out good. We've all seen movies with plane drops. You know, they fly and they drop the stuff there. What else I got? Catapult, fake fruit. Yeah. No, that's basically it.
Now, I saw a real winner here when I was going through. Anton Banks.
Tell me about Anton Banks.
He was arrested because he had codeine, which is not a serious crime.
Okay.
What got him in trouble was that when they arrested him, he thought like he could hide a little bit of cocaine in the waistband of his sweatpants. And they patted him down. They found it. Yeah. So that gave him a strip search. And then they found the other bag of cocaine that he was hiding inside his foreskin.
Yeah, that sounds right.
So I don't know how much cocaine you can hide there, but apparently it was enough for prison.
To cause a problem. Now, you can't say that's for personal use, or
well, that was going into prison, so you're not allowed to smuggle cocaine in jail. Apparently not.
All right.
But there's definitely a myriad of ways to smuggle things. Now, really, it gets a little bit difficult because the people that are successfully smuggling things, you don't know how they're doing it. You only hear the stories about the people that get caught.
I did hear one. Now, here, I have a tip for you guys. All right? So, apparently, when it comes to smuggling people, guy was going to smuggle a girl over the Mexico-U.S. border, and goes through, and they look in his car, and they don't see anything, and they're like, well, can I see your registration and insurance? I want to make sure you're going to be driving in America.
Right.
You know, things are up and up. So the guy opens the glove box, And the Border Patrol agent is like, wait a minute. Is that a girl stuffed in your glove box?
Hola.
And he's like, oh, no. If you're going to pull apart your whole dash and fit a 135-pound woman inside your dash and have her face stuffed in the glove box, you wouldn't think to have your registration and insurance
ready
outside the glove box? I feel like he just walked into that one. Like, you go to all that trouble. Now, I did see some pictures of another guy who actually tried to make himself into the car seat.
Oh, I saw that picture.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
It wasn't that believable.
No, I had a friend of mine that I worked with when I lived in San Diego.
Okay.
That he was on a working visa, and somebody had paid him to smuggle them through the border in this trunk.
Sure.
And he goes through the border. He was going through it every week or something. No problems. Went right through, except
there's always the except.
As they went through, the Border Patrol agent, said, go ahead, and banged on the trunk of his car.
Tap.
And the guy in the back jumped, and he heard the bump inside the trunk. And so, pulled him over and had 3 guys in there.
3?
Yeah, 3 people. And somehow this guy was still in the United States working with me. So I don't know what that, I don't know if the penalties are really...
It's 3rd or 4th visit.
Mm-hmm.
I understand you can commit some crimes. They just send you home, and then you just walk back.
Yeah, you have to come back. But
And, they might catch you, but then they're like, look, try again tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
We'll look the other way. Now, maybe things are getting a little stricter. I don't know. I hear stories on TV, but...
Yeah, I'm not buying it.
Not buying it?
Not buying it.
All right.
Now,
Yes.
when it comes to smuggling people...
Now, you have more thoughts, okay?
Well, I do have more thoughts in the sense that there's a lot of places in the world where genocides are taking place.
Sure.
Where...
A lot of sex trafficking
is going on. There's a reason to know how to smuggle people, and there's a reason to know...
I gotta say that dashboard one was pretty slick. I mean, you wouldn't think somebody's hiding in there.
He would have been fine if he had that registration out.
Pull that registration out.
Why would you keep it in the glove box?
And she's like, it's just bad.
But, I think that sort of stuff is, it's kind of a lost art.
Yeah.
And I was actually on a website where this girl was just blatantly telling people how to smuggle drugs, for small recreational use.
Oh, sure.
And there was all sorts of, comments on there about how ridiculous it was to have a website like this. But she was unabashed, just put your ecstasy pills right in the bottom of your, Tylenol bottle. Put your cocaine in put your cocaine in little baggies in the bottom of your baby powder bottle. Put your marijuana, just seal it up inside your panty liner, So there's people doing it every day.
Okay.
It's happening every day.
I feel like there's dogs.
There is dogs, but they are not searching for drugs. They're not searching for drugs on planes.
Oh, okay.
They're only searching for bombs.
I was surprised. I was in, I don't even know what country. I want to say Turkey.
Okay.
And I was at the airport, and this was prior to 9/11.
Mm-hmm.
And freaking, they have freaking, whatever kind of dogs.
German Shepherds?
German Shepherds. Yeah,
okay.
Sure. German Shepherds all walking around. You couldn't go, every single person they're walking up to. All through the place.
Searching the whole...
And that dog's just sniffing like crazy. And there are probably 20 dogs and maybe 200 people in the building.
Uh-huh.
And they're just back and forth. And I'm like, whoa, a little crazy here, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
And here we have, all this going on and nothing.
Yeah. Well, we have these machines that are unbeatable.
Machines.
The sniffer machines. Now,
Sniffer
I
machines.
actually did get pulled out and busted on one of those sniffing machines for having explosive on my hands.
Oh, they did check.
I was
me
not
for
even
that.
flying. I was taking my son to fly.
Okay.
They pulled me into a separate room with my son.
Body cavity search.
Large individuals
Cold
with
hands?
latex gloves.
Large cold hands.
He told me that he was only going to touch my private areas with the back of his hand because somehow that's better.
Yeah, sure.
And I got all sorts of checked out. And then he goes, sometimes those machines mistake shampoo on your hands for explosives.
Oh,
How much money did you spend on this machine that confuses shampoo and explosives? So, take that with a grain of salt. Now, when it comes to smuggling weapons, apparently smuggling weapons is only something you do over the border to Mexico, going to Mexico.
really?
Because it's a lot cheaper and less expensive in the United States to get weapons and then take it to Mexico.
Right.
So I think Obama found that out the hard way.
He did a lot of gun running.
Now, I did have a friend of mine who was on a crime spree, and he was busted for smuggling drugs into Mexico, but not necessarily the way you would think. He was on a crime spree and going across the country, and they got down to San Diego, and they had this shoebox full of mescaline.
Sure.
So he said, "Hey, before we go down there, let's just bury this in the desert over here, and then we'll come back and pick it up."
Smart.
The other guy was like, nah, don't even worry about it. Not a big deal. So they went through the border, no problem. They went down to Tijuana and got all fucked up, though, and when they were coming back, that's when they got searched. And they were like, no, seriously, we had these drugs when we went down there.
Well, then.
But yeah, that was prison time.
That's prison?
Well, that's prison time. Mescaline is not something that apparently is.
No.
They're all right with.
All right. So there you have it. What do we have to tell these people about? Anything new going on in the world we need to update them?
Well, apparently pedophiles are not getting elected in Alabama.
Okay, Alabama, yeah.
I know I'll probably get a lot of flack from our listeners, but I am 100% certain that Roy Moore is a sex pervert.
Yeah?
He is a pedophile that likes to molest young girls.
I gotta say, he's
100%
definitely
positive.
not the best choice for a candidate.
No.
I think we can all agree on that.
Now, if you are going to run for election as a U.S. state senator,
Okay.
and you're going to molest little girls, Alabama is probably the state to do it. But not quite this time.
Not quite that. You know what? You have to have some charisma. Charisma.
He didn't have it, but he did. Now, this is really what really pissed me off. Like, it just made me fucking angry.
Sounds like you're a little hostile.
He rode to the election to cast his ballot on his fucking horse. Now, that doesn't bother me. That seems dope. That seems
That's
legit.
just manly.
But his fucking horse's name is Sassy. Somebody needs to slap this motherfucker in the mouth. You don't name your horse Sassy and then ride around town on it?
Or do you?
God damn, like the balls on this motherfucker naming his horse Sassy and then riding around on it. Ridiculous.
That does sound a little ridiculous.
Well, I'm sorry, it got me a little angry when I read that.
Sound a little agitated.
Aside of that, what else is going on in the news? Not a whole lot right now.
No. Everyone's happy. They're working out tax bills and God knows what.
Mm-hmm.
Government spending our money like a drunken sailor.
Yeah, left and right. They're not even spending our money. They're spending
Turns
our
out
kids'
there's
money
corrupt politicians.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you guys have heard that.
Yeah.
That's going on.
A couple of them.
And that's about what we got in the world. Scandal in the FBI. People thinking, they're colluding against the president now, and who knows? So, you guys know we have a awesome Facebook group.
Yeah,
I don't know if
get
you
on
want
the
to talk
Facebook
about
group.
guns, man things,
The horse is named Sassy.
horses named Sassy, whatever. You want to know? We have the answers.
Mm-hmm.
We have a Facebook page, facebook.com/preppingbadass.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully you've been there. Hopefully maybe you head over to iTunes, leave a review. And you might also like to know that we have a website. If you go to patreon.com/preppingbadass.
You'll realize that this podcast was very ad-free.
Ad-free.
So you might want to help donate and keep it that way.
Keep it that way. You like the random ad-free episode. Maybe Patreon's the thing
This is
for
like
you.
NPR of podcasts, man.
We're really just giving back to the people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's what it's all about here. I may go back and redo some of the episodes and take out the songs.
Okay.
That are awesome at the end. You know, I know you guys appreciate that. If we want to be on Spotify, apparently they have to be podcast safe.
Okay, what does that mean?
That means you don't have songs in it, turns
Okay.
out. And I'm like, damn it, there's like 100 freaking episodes. I don't want to edit all those.
Well, you just got to take the last couple minutes out.
I know, but it just sounds like, I don't even
sounds
know.
like work.
Sounds like work. You know, I got to say, if you're on Spotify, maybe you listen to iHeartRadio, maybe Apple iTunes.
Well, if they're on Spotify, they're not listening to the podcast right now.
They don't even know. Oh, man. It's like a whole new market for us. I'm like, I don't know. I could just chance it. I don't know. So all these things are on the table. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. All right. If you guys want to get a hold of us and, tell us your own
Prepping
cocaine
Badass
stories.
At gmail.com.
That's right. I
read
all the emails. I respond to
Kevin
the
is
emails.
shit hot with the emails.
There are a lot of people. Now, I'm not pointing any fingers.
Okay.
You know who you are. There are some of you out there that are just legitimately crazy people.
Well, yeah. I mean, that was a given. We knew
Like,
that
I mean,
going into this
insane
game.
People.
We knew
So
that going in.
That's fine. That's fine. Send me your crazy emails. I love them.
We love them.
We read
Might
them
even
each
read
other.
one.
We laugh. No, but most of the emails we get are
No, we used to read our emails on the podcast once or twice.
Maybe we should pick out some of the craziest
You know what?
ones.
I feel like if we mention it, though, people will stop emailing.
Mm-hmm.
They'll be like, oh, he's just going to embarrass me.
Now, the vast majority of the emails are well thought out and intelligent. We get most of our ideas for podcasts
Yes.
from people emailing, asking us to look into certain topics for them. So there was one that's like a brain worm that's just been working in my head lately about hydrogen fuel.
Hydrogen fuel.
And I was talking to somebody on an email. He says he's working on building some equipment, some toys with.
Is this equipment a hydrogen bomb?
No, it's hydrogen fuel. Now, the reason we're not using hydrogen cars
is
with
because there
hydrogen
was some
fuel,
kind of
hydrogen.
blimp
No,
back in the day.
No, it has nothing to do with that. It's
There was a big
completely
blimp.
safe. It's completely safe.
Okay.
But it costs about 67 cents a mile, where gasoline cars are closer to 18, 19 cents a mile.
All right.
But hydrazine lasts forever. And gasoline does not have that. Does not have that property. So I'm gonna have to look into this over the next few weeks and see if I can figure something out. But yeah, if you want to email us at prepperbadass@gmail.com.
Preppingbadass.
Preppingbadass@gmail.com. Let us know your thoughts. And if you want to get some coffee, head over to EDC Coffee.
Oh, so this was ad-free, and now you're like, no.
I'm just saying you can get 10% off. They didn't give us anything.
That's true. We didn't get paid for
We
anything.
got coffee.
We've never been paid for mentioning EDC Coffee. So that's an act of love right there.
Yeah, we're doing this for you.
All right.
10% off.
Now they got to use a code. It's badass.
Yeah, badass in the code. Now Ace High Armory.
Ace High Armory. He what's he got? He's got some. You want to clean your guns?
Mm-hmm.
You want to oil them, lubricate them, keep them nice. You might want to use gay sex lube, but that'll really grease up your guns. It's not going to help.
It gets sticky after a little while.
You know, you actually need to use proper gun cleaning products.
Mm-hmm.
And you can find those proper gun cleaning products over at Ace High Armory. He also has a code.
Prepper 15, right?
Prepper 15. Try all capital letters, the number 15.
Get 15% off.
15% off. That sounds right.
Should be easy to remember, right?
Easy to remember.
Spin Eye Blades.
Oh, we are just
We haven't
killing
talked
it. You're
about
like,
him for a minute.
You're like, yo, we don't have ads. We don't talk about anybody. And then you're like, let's milk this.
Well, listen, Spin Eye over on Facebook. He does custom built knives.
Now,
Really quality stuff.
I found a knife. I got a picture somewhere. It's on my my computer here. I'll show it to you when we're done. And it's called the Soul Carver.
Ooh.
And if you guys are like me, you're getting ads all the time from, I don't know, some freaking company. I don't know. They send me all these things, and it's from somebody else. It's from one of them. It's the one who's always got the things that say stack bodies, drink coffee, stack bodies.
I have
You
no
don't
idea
see
what
these
the hell
ads?
you're talking about.
All right, I get these ads all the
no.
time. Okay.
Apparently, I'm not the body
So,
stacking demographic. When
The
I do
body
my shopping.
stackers, they have this knife, the Soul Carver, and it's freaking. They had it on their website for like $490 or something,
Okay.
and it says sold out. Now, did they have one?
I don't
And
know.
somebody bought it? That's what I'm wondering. But either way, maybe Seth needs to check this out. Maybe he wants to make one for the Prepping Badass community.
Soul Crusher?
Soul Carver.
Soul Carver.
Now, I could send you some pictures if, you want to work something out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying there might be a little knife shaping. We could work something. I might be able to send you a blade or two in the mail. Maybe you make two. One for you, one for me. All right. Now I feel like we might just be rambling.
We absolutely are.
We absolutely. So, with that, stay safe. We'll talk to you guys next week.
Planning a fishing trip shouldn't feel like a full-time job. With fishingbooker.com, you can find and book the perfect fishing trip within minutes. Fishingbooker.com connects you with trusted fishing captains around the world. Booking is fast, easy, and secure, with access to verified customer reviews, loyalty rewards, and around-the-clock customer support. Everything you need to book with confidence is in one place. So head to fishingbooker.com and start planning your next fishing adventure today.